Well, good morning, baseball fans. This is Vinny coming at you this morning. I just wanted to make kind of a brief video just to kind of go over and explain the tournament that I'm um, have just started using Payoff Pitch Baseball and how that came about. Uh, what my plan for it is, and basically, I kind of got the idea from this gentleman calls himself Shrimp Trawler, and he has a 4-year carryover league with his with Stratomatic baseball. And so the idea is he has 4 consecutive seasons, and the next year what he does is he removes the last season and then adds a new season, and this basically kind of rotates um, his tournament that way. And so that's kind of the thinking with this tournament here. Now, what this tournament is I'm going to be using the 2022 through 2025 seasons. And the way this works here is if you notice on the screen, I've calculated the win percentage of the last 4 years for each team from 2022 through 2025. So the Orioles, 75 wins, 91 wins, 101 wins, 83 wins, 350 wins out of 648 total games for a 540 win percentage. And I did that with each team in both leagues. And as you can see now, what I did with that is I now seeded them based on their 4-year records. So in the American League, the top seed would be the Houston Astros at 573, then the Yankees at 569, and then the very bottom team, the worst winning percentage during those 4 years was the Chicago White Sox with only a 375 win percentage. In the National League, we have the Dodgers at the very top with a 620 win percentage. And again, these are cumulative records from 2022 through 2025. And then we have Atlanta, Milwaukee, Philadelphia, San Diego, the Mets, the Cubs, Diamondbacks, Cardinals, Giants, Reds, Marlins, Pirates, Nationals, and the Colorado Rockies are dead last with 356. In fact, they're the worst team in baseball. I'll just go down through the American League quickly. Houston, the Yankees, Seattle, Baltimore are your top 4 teams. Toronto, Cleveland, Tampa Bay, Boston, Detroit, Minnesota, Texas, Kansas City, the Angels, the Athletics, and the White Sox. So those are the seedings for this tournament. Now, each team is made up of 26-man rosters, and the minimum we would take players from each of the 4 seasons, 22, 23, 24, and 25, and each team has to have a minimum of 6 players from each season. So the minimum is 6, and the max would be 8. And the way the roster breaks down is this way. Um, you have to have at least 4 starting pitchers. You could have no more than 2 starting pitchers from any one season. All right, but you have to have starting pitchers from at least 3 out of the 4 seasons. So in Baltimore's case, we have Dean Kremer from 22, Kyle Bradish from 23, Zach Eflin from 24, and Rogers from 25. In the Red Sox case, we're using 2 from 2025. They got Crochet and Bayo. They've got Tanner Houck from 24 and Cutter Crawford from 23. So at least 4 starting pitchers. You have to have at least 5 bench players, and the bench players, not including the catcher, you can use 3 from any one season as the max. Okay, catcher doesn't matter. Okay, relief pitchers, we have 8 total relief pitchers, and every season must have a relief pitcher. So you have to have at least 1 relief pitcher from each season, and the max you can have from any one season is 3. Okay, but every season requires a relief pitcher. And then, of course, the rest of the starters will come from the various seasons. And, of course, we try to use the best player at every position. Now, the way the eligibility for each team works is that the player's most recent team has the priority of signing that player. So, for example, we're not starting like from 22 and picking players there and then 22. We're actually starting backwards. We're saying which players are playing in 2025. A good example might be Juan Soto. Okay, in the early part of his career, he was with Washington and San Diego. He went to the Yankees, and last season he played with the New York Mets. Okay, but the teams that he played for prior to the Mets in 25 don't get the priority. The Mets get the priority. So the Mets obviously will take him from the 2025, and that means that no other teams can use him. Players are only can only play for one team. So you can't use Soto for the Yankees and for the Padres at the same time. So that's how the rosters are constructed. And here you can see the American League rosters. And we'll just kind of scroll through them. And then we'll go to the National League rosters. And let's see. Cubs, Reds, Rockies, Dodgers, Miami, Milwaukee, the Mets, the Phillies, the Pirates, and the Padres, the Giants, Cardinals, and finally the Nationals. So those are the teams. Okay, now just to explain how this tournament works. It is several tiers, and the first part of the tier is these bottom 4 teams in each league. The top 4 teams from each league, they receive buys in the first couple of rounds. Okay. And then teams 5, so 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and 11, those teams will participate in the second tier. And these bottom 4 teams are playing a double elimination tournament to become one of these middle 8 teams. So this is basically a playing round. The way that's working is, and let me just do something here. I'm going to add some columns just to move these into the center a little bit more. Okay. So the bottom 4 teams in each league, they are in a double elimination tournament. All right, so we've already played a couple of games. We've played the initial round. The Angels, the 10th ranked team, and the Athletics, the 11th ranked team. They played. That was a wild game. Ended up going 12 innings with the A's winning 8-7, so they advanced into the winners bracket. And the White Sox and Royals also had an extra inning game with the White Sox coming out on top 4-3. They are also in the winners bracket. And then we have a losers bracket. This would be our first elimination game. The Royals and the Angels will play in the elimination game, and that's the way this tournament goes. I spend a lot of time setting up the teams, and some of these teams are going to be gone after a couple of games. And I look at it this way: they're not very good teams. We don't like to play, bad teams, over a prolonged season. So that's the American League bracket. The National League bracket, we have Pittsburgh and Washington. This is a game that I videoed, put it on YouTube. Paul Skeens getting the victory, a 4-0 shutout. So Pittsburgh advances in the winners bracket. And the Rockies came back to beat the Marlins 4-3. So they're going to be in the winners bracket. And in the first loser bracket game will be Miami and Washington. So that's how that goes. So what will happen now is once we determine a winner, and it's generally about 6 games for each bracket. These are single games. These are not series. Okay, so this wasn't a best of 3 series. None of these are best of 3 series or best of 5 or anything like that. They're just single games. And the winners keep progressing until we get the final winner. Those teams will advance to the next round. They will become part of this middle 8 group. And in this middle 8 group, we're basically going to set it up kind of in a Swiss Swiss tournament format. Basically, what it's going to boil down to, it's not necessarily double elimination. It's going to be 2 wins and you're in, and 2 losses and you're out. So what we end up with is from these 8 teams, we will come up with 4 winners that will progress into the top group here. And those 8 teams will go into a similar format. 2 wins, you're in, and 2 losses, you're out. But in that situation, those are going to be best of 3 series. So you have to win 2 series to move to the final 4, and you have to lose 2 series and you're eliminated. So you get a little bit more opportunity as we progress up into the tiers. Obviously, the better teams we want them to play more. We want to see them more, and so that will be when those final 8 teams meet, and it whittles down to the final 4 in each division or each league. then what will end up happening is that the final 4 teams in each league will play a 7-game series. Not a best of 7, but a 7-game series. And I kind of thought about this because of the tournament that I just kind of did, a quickie tournament with the 2025 season. I didn't like the idea that teams didn't play the same number of games, and that if one team played one more game or one less game, they would kind of lose out. So the final 4 teams will play a 7-game series against each of the other 3 teams in that league, and the one with the best overall um, record um, of those 21 games will be the winner. So it's kind of a short season, I guess, if you want to call it that way. And then we'll have the World Series between the top 2 teams. So that's basically the format. That's how I set it up. And we're going to kind of see how it goes. Um, like I said, right now, this bottom tier um, double elimination format, we're playing it on Stratomatic. We're still waiting for the um, for Game Pulse to kind of fix some of the issues with the league creation system, and so we'll keep using Strat until that does get taken care of. So, but that's basically it, and just wanted to give you a brief rundown on that, and have a good day. I'll probably be broadcasting soon the one of the elimination games. So we'll see you later. Uh, if you liked the video, subscribe, press the like button, and we'll see you later.